Tour junkies.
What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the Farmers Insurance Open 2026 betting preview. We're going to recap a little bit of the Amex, talk about some big headlines going on the PGA Tour. Our boy Matt Every is going to join us here in just a second. DB here. I got my boy Pat. And Pat, I just don't know how much I can handle of Tom Selleck, Siwoo Kim's era with the mustache for the rest of this season. I'm just not sure I'm not sure my parts.
Yeah, they
can
were a little
handle it.
excited. You got a little hot and bothered down there.
6 to midnight.
Yeah.
Seeing Siwoo with a little bit of a crusty stash yesterday.
Well, I mean, look, I love it. I mean, and it was nice seeing Siwoo in the hunt. It didn't really matter because we're just got another Scottie win. So
another Scottie win in the books in the Amex. We're going to talk about it. Let's go ahead and bring him in. Let's go ahead and bring in Matt Every, who obviously is always has his ear to the ground. PGA Tour. He's doing content. He's just all around. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
What's up, guys? How we doing? Sorry I missed you last week.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. We made it through, but did you have a good week? What do you think about the Amex, about Scottie, about Blades Brown? I want to talk about him and our boy Swedberg on the bag. Just a lot to go over before we move on. Turn the page quickly to the Farmers and Brooks Koepka's debut.
I mean, Scottie just picking up right where he left off. I know that's about as cliche as it gets, but it just, that was his first win in the month of January.
Scottie. Yeah, I heard it was his earliest. It's the earliest win he's ever had on tour.
And something else I'll point out that I don't think people realized at home because they probably did a good job hiding it in the coverage. He had a Pro-Am partner on Saturday that threw it in lockdown out there, like full on grind mode, taking a minute and a half every shot. His caddy was lining up. They were a hole behind out there on Saturday.
What?
I had to it was like, read the room, dude. What are you doing? And oh yeah. And I mean, it was bad. It was.
Who was it? Let's call him out. Who was it?
I don't know. We don't need to do that. But it was.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna find out.
It wasn't. It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
I mean, I just don't understand.
They rotate amateurs every day there, so he only had them for that day. But it was. Okay. I remember because I had his group on Saturday, and we're on 18, and they've been a hole behind the whole day, and it's taken 5.5 to play regardless. But I took them 5:45 to play on Saturday, but on 18. They're just standing in the fairway, him and Justin Rose, like, what the heck's going on? And this guy is like 60 yards back, just throwing it in neutral, like pre-shot routine, backing off, caddies lining him up, stuff like this. And he's playing with the number one, golfer in the world that's leading the tournament, or, right up there. It was so my point is, and he takes the high road, obviously. But I think when you saw him say this was a challenging week this week, like that's a big part of it, dude. I mean, that's tough to ignore if you're out there and that's what you're playing with for 18 holes. And these guys are obviously spending good money to be in these positions. But so it's tough to kind of get in there and be like, hey man, can you pick it up a little bit? But it was something to see.
I feel like, David, the way you're looking right now, you found this gentleman.
No, I haven't found him. I'm gonna have to do more digging, but it could be it could be like an executive from like the CJ, like the South Korean company CJ that sponsors Siwoo, that could have been in there trying to infiltrate and get Siwoo a nice advantage, but. Pat, I mean, in the early days of handicapping events like this, we used to talk about that all the time. Like, we didn't talk about it. We don't talk about it as much anymore because there's so much golf content. Everybody kind of knows by now but remember back in the day, I mean, we used to talk about there are just, and I'm sure Matt, you can attest to this. Like, there are some personalities that I think handle these pro-am situations better than others. And it doesn't mean you can't, it doesn't mean you can, you're going to be this impatient guy that hates pro-ams and not have a good week. Maybe get a good partner. Maybe things just go right for you. But there are reasons. Aren't there reasons that guys tend to if they can afford to, like, avoid some of these tournaments on the schedule because they don't like being in that situation.
Yeah, I would say yes. I mean, this year with Century not happening, that's why you saw a lot of bigger names but one thing I will say, DB, is if you're an impatient guy or a fast player out there, someone that gets annoyed easily, and you do sign up for one of these tournaments, look, you know what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
going
for sure.
there with that attitude, and you can have those kind of traits, but still be a personable human and play just fine in that tournament. Like I would subscribe to pretty much everything I just said, and I felt like I thrived in pro-ams, and I was probably one of the fastest players out there. So something to it for sure. Scottie, I mean, it's hard to ruffle that guy's feathers. Yeah, there's something to it for sure.
Pat, your thoughts on Scottie, maybe Blades? We get into a little bit of Blades discussion.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Blades that was interesting too was the whole story started just because he came straight from the Corn Ferry event in the Bahamas and went straight there, and I don't think anybody expected much from him at all. But I mean, the kid's 18 years old, skipping college. I mean, playing like that. I mean, it's pretty impressive. And then watching him play, I mean, the kid looks really solid out there. Didn't look too. I mean, I know he had a kind of a little bit of a rough day yesterday. He's playing with Scottie. I mean, but still, I think he's
playing with Siwoo. But yeah,
I mean, sorry, Siwoo, but he's still. I mean, that might be more intimidating than Scottie playing with Siwoo, to be honest. I mean,
he had only ever seen Siwoo without the mustache, and then he rolls up to the first tee, and Siwoo's got the mustache on. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, not a fair fight.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that he is. It's impressive. Now, what is his status? Like, I mean, I'm sure he's going to get a lot of sponsors exemptions and things like that. But does he have any sort of status like on tour?
I don't know. I don't know, not on tour because he was playing the Corn Ferry Tour. So if that was the case, he'd be playing the tour. This was a sponsor invite. He was playing in on Amex. Where the hell did DB go?
I don't know what just happened. We just lost.
Well, we can talk about Blades Brown for a second. So when he was making that run first of all, if you're going to do it on at that tournament, you can at every course. There's been 59 shot at La Quinta, but Nicklaus tournament is, if there's no wind, you can just, if you're dialed, it's you can feast all day. The putt he had for 59, man, I know he's an 18-year-old kid, and like it's insane to even think about doing something like this at 18.
Yeah,
but you're not going to get a much better look for 59 than
that was a good look.
The putt he had, and he got to see David Ford hit the exact same putt right before. There was a lot going on for him that week. I'm a fan of his. I don't know his golf game. I haven't watched him hit a ball. All I know are his interviews, and I've seen a couple of things the tour's put together, like that piece they put together with him coming from the Bahamas to Palm Springs. The way he carries himself and walks around, like that's not a normal 18-year-old. It's just not. Like he walks around like he's running the fucking show with his chest out.
But he's not too cocky. He doesn't sound.
No, he's not. No, he's not. And I actually had high hopes for him on Sunday. I really did. I was like, this kid's. I feel like he feels like he's bulletproof, and if he's got his shit this week and gets off to a good start, he might win this thing.
Well, if you remember too, DB would remember this because you remember when he first kind of came out, he had the logo. And you kind of blasted that a little bit on media. He had.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I think now that you're getting to know him a little bit, I mean, that was probably a bad move on his part to start out with your own logo. But the kid just seems like he's got a lot of he's got swagger, but again, not too cocky.
He's got it. That's real swagger too that he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, so just real quick on the Blades Brown thing. Got to shout out our boy Kenny McAndress, founder of the Mooney Gang, who on Saturday, I think it was Saturday, just woke up with conviction, wanting to bet Blades Brown. hit him as the lowest score on the Nicklaus course that day
No
at
way.
65-1, put $400 on it and won
Dude,
26
that
grand.
is what a hit.
And then told the Discord about it. So his whole Discord community cleaned up nicely. He's obviously Kenny's awesome. We love Kenny. He's doing great. I talked to him that day. He was on cloud 9. He said, I've hit a lot of big bets. I've hit bets bigger. This is my favorite bet because I love this kid. I had a feeling when I woke up. I followed it. It was one of the only bets he placed on Saturday. And it was just a fun ride the whole day watching him go low and do what he did. I texted Swedberg, Blaze's caddy, good friend of the Tour Junkies podcast for quite some time, just a great dude. And man, like this is the stuff, like Swedberg's like our age. So he's not like a spring chicken out there, but super handsome. I mean, just like us and in pretty good shape.
Just
but
like us.
He's got a family, he's got a wife, like, and I don't think you'd mind me sharing this. Like he's kind of been out there trying to find a horse to get him there. But when I talked to him in the fall, he was like, man, I don't know. Like I'm going to hitch my wagon to this 18-year-old kid. Cause I think he's a freak and it's going to be my cut. He didn't say it, but I got the sense that it was kind of like, this is my last ticket and I'm going to go for the lottery play here. Cause this kid could be the next, like Victor Hovland. I'd rather do that than try to find some veteran with full status that might, that's been grinding, may or may not do anything. And to see it pay off for him so quickly. I mean, they still got a ways to go. I was really hoping they'd get that top 10 yesterday to get in this week. But they have a ways to go, but he's got full status on the Korn Ferry Tour. I think it was T17, the Bahamas leading up to this week. Then obviously plays great this past week. Like it's just awesome to see a guy like Brett, who's such a good guy, has kind of grinded through some bags here over the years, like land on a kid with some real promise. And maybe he doesn't pay off, but Blades certainly seems like all the things you guys said, great head on his shoulders. Brett said he's incredibly smart, incredibly mature for his age, super positive, great mental game. So, man, I'm excited. Like I couldn't help but cheer for Blades despite Siwoo being in the final group. I was cheering for Blades and Brett yesterday, and obviously early on it was a quick exit, but I'm really pumped to see what this kid can do, and hopefully get some more sponsors exemptions. Because I mean, like
those will come.
Even the thing like where he's rock paper scissors with the kid on the ropes at the tour blasted out, like little stuff like that just shows some personality, shows that he's marketable. Like that's got to earn some sponsors exemption. So I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to fire on him in Panama this week. Brett texted me last night. I was like, dude, are you resting or what are we doing? He said, I'm already on the way to Panama. And he said, my boy's going to win. He's like, my boy is confident. He's ready to win.
That's a good course for ball strikers.
Yeah. So it's a tough course. And it's one of the
hardest ones they play. Yeah.
Well, he does get these sponsors exemptions, but I really
except for Savannah.
I hope he plays the Korn Ferry event here in Savannah because I want to see the kid play in person. Yeah. So
I might have to come out for that. I mean, you might have to have Swedberg. Speaking of Korn Ferry or Tour Junkies buddies, good to see Austin Smotherman do his thing a little bit this week too. Love some Smoth Daddy.
Yeah.
Great finish out of him. Anyway, great week. But we turned the page quickly to Torrey Pines and the Farmers. Brooks Koepka's debut, playing with Ludwig and Max Homa for the first couple of days. I heard that ESPN is going to be broadcasting, like the big channel is going to be broadcasting the simulcast. Everybody's pumped up about Brooks. Obviously, it's exciting. It does feel it feels good to see. It feels like it's just exciting. But what are our expectations for Brooks? Because we all know what he's been doing the last couple of years, and it hadn't been amazing. Obviously, Torrey's a course that Brooks would always, would play well at. I mean, it's a good course for him. But what are you thinking? What are you guys thinking, Matt?
Actually talked about this on the drop this morning. I like, as far as a threshold, I would say making the cut, but I don't. That just sounds like degrading to him. And I don't.
2017, he's never made the cut.
He hasn't made the cut here. I know his best finish is the U.S. Open on this course, which is a different time of year. But it's a bully. This is a bully's golf course, and Brooks has a bully's golf game. That doesn't make sense to me at all. Why he hasn't played good here.
Yeah.
I think he's going to treat this like a major. Has to. He's got to be so amped up to play this. Like getting up for this should not be an issue. And I think a successful week for him is 4 rounds. If he gets a sniff of like in the hunt, that is a huge success just to get those feelings again. Hey, if he wins, it wouldn't shock me at all. If he top 10s, it wouldn't shock me at all. But I think this week's more about getting the rust off and then moving into next week, where I actually think he was originally going to start next week, and then this was a late add, Farmers. But two of his 4 wins on the PGA Tour are the week after this one. So. Mm-hmm. 4 rounds, get all the kinks worked out, get the high hellos out of the way, and kick some ass the next week.
What do you think, Pat?
Well, I mean, I think, I agree. I think, making the cut, good finish is probably the best you're going to see out of Brooks. I mean, he hadn't been trending all that. Well, last year was a tough year for him. I think he was playing better maybe near the end of the year. But I think, with all the distractions going on and everything else, it'll be interesting to see how he plays. But I probably feel like if you get a top 20 out of him, that's going to be a success for him, especially with all, the coverage they're going to get. But, I mean, I'm surprised he's never made a cut at this golf.
Same.
That doesn't really make sense at all to me. But again, it's you never know with Brooks. Like, if he's going to treat it like a major, he's probably going to play well, because the majors were always the thing for him. I mean, even when he was on tour, you just felt like his focus was much better when it was a major week.
I can't see him treating it like a major, because like in a major, he's going to be so peaked, but I think it's close. Like, I think he obviously treats this bigger than a regular back in the day PGA Tour event, because I don't think he wants to have all this fuss and come out and look flat, and look like he's ill prepared. So, and maybe the reason he bumped it up, Matt, is because he felt really good about where his game was at, and he didn't want to wait another week and get out there and go get it. But what's crazy is, he did play a couple events in the fall, on the DP World Tour. He missed the cut at the Irish, missed the cut at Wentworth, finished 4th at the French Open, and then finished 15th at the Alfred Dunhill Links, which is I love that tournament. But that's like kind of, it's like in November or October, I think. So, we haven't seen him since then, but he did flash a little bit of form there. It's crazy. He's the 255th ranked player in the world right now. So with that ranking, obviously he's got plenty of exemptions with major championships and stuff, but it's also not like he's got plenty to play for in terms of earning some starts, some signature event access. I'd imagine he'll get some sponsors exemptions, but it's going to be fun to watch. I am excited about it, but I don't have visions of him winning, but it wouldn't shock me if he finished top 20. I feel like.
Yeah, no, I would agree there.
No Scottie here this week. Xander kind of leads the field, but in terms of the golf course, obviously we know this course. You play the North Course at least one round the first 2 days. You play the South Course the other. You have the cut, then the South Course exclusively on the weekend. The weather looks absolutely perfect, optimal scoring conditions for Torrey, which is a more difficult golf course, more difficult test. But we're probably going to see a winning score in the mid-teens, I'd imagine, 13 to 15, 16 under, with the weather being that perfect. It's full field event, longer golf course. Other than the basics, Matt, what are your takes on Torrey Pines? What are the things that maybe we don't think about, or maybe we don't understand quite as well as a tour player would in terms of the golf course?
Well, first off, if you've been watching this tournament for a while, meaning 20 plus years, the North Course it is easier than the South, but it is not like it used to be extremely easier than the South.
Yeah,
it's beefed up a little bit now. It's tight. The fairways are pretty tight over there. You mentioned the weather's going to be perfect. If those fairways get firm, and that course can play a lot shorter than the yardage says on the card. I mean, I know they can tip it out to over 7,700 yards. That's probably from more of a major championship setup. There's tees I've played there years where we don't even touch the back tees on like 13, that par 5 back there, and stuff like that. So they're not going to play it that long. Fairways, if they get a little bounce to them, I like a guy like, man, I'm big on mid iron players, good mid iron players here, and then around the greens, like just up and down and putting. I think driving, it does matter, but give me a guy that kind of just lives in the screws with the irons here and is a nice putter.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the bet the number data, obviously the golf course plays tougher, so your greens regulation slightly lower, fairways and reg is definitely lower. 3 putts go up, bogeys per round go up, birdies per round go down. And when you look over the averages, this new course feature I wanted to talk about here on Bet the Number that we're looking at, the 3-putt avoidance stat, which is over here on the right hand side. This is basically the hardest golf course on tour in terms of 3-putt avoidance over 25 feet, which is something the Bet the Number guys put in the model this week. You know, the POA definitely comes in play here. Same thing, putting within that 5 to 15 foot range is also really difficult. But, you know, it seems like distance is something that is great to have, as it always is, but maybe not as critical off the tee as long as you can hit your mid and long irons well, like you're saying, Matt. I mean, Harris English isn't the longest player on tour. You know, there's been plenty of other guys. Matthew Pavon isn't the longest player on tour. And those guys can still get it done here as long as you're really good, you know, in the middle of the bag and you make some putts. Any other thoughts on the golf course, Pat, from you? Or kind of setup or conditties?
No, I mean, I think, you know, like you said, the weather's going to be good. We've heard the rough is down a little bit, so
really?
Not too penal. That's what we've heard today.
Early on,
a little bit ago. So I think that's interesting for sure. Do you think, like, with this 3-putt thing, like is that mostly, Matt, due to the POA? Because I feel this is where we see 3 putts on this golf course from like.
It definitely has something to do with it. Like, if you grew up on the West Coast, there's an advantage to putting this stuff. POA it's a thicker blade, and it's pretty good if it's in a cool climate and like everything is it's not being stressed. The second it starts getting baked out, the top of the leaves start getting seeds on them and they get real bumpy and those holes start to shrink. Another thing, if the greens get too soft, like if it's raining on POA, the heel prints and the footprints, I mean, it's just, you're not going to get a true roll. You know, you're not going to get a true roll. So it affects your stroke a little bit, like mentally, just the conviction on your stroke is different. It's like you're death gripping it 10 and 2, trying to steer it into the hole because you know it's plinko down a 3 or 4 foot putt. It also, like that property there where the clubhouse is, it's like a big park. This thing it's a massive field of grass if you combine both courses, and it kind of just barely starts to slope down to the cliff next to the ocean, and then there's a big drop. So these greens, a lot of the greens here are wildly underrated. There's a ton of movement on them, and they go opposite that slope sometimes. So there's always just I feel like there's a ton of trick putts out here where they might look like they go one way, but you got the pull of the land going the other way. It doesn't get talked about a lot, but there's plenty of reasons to miss small putts out here.
Yeah. I feel like 100% we're going to have it. There's going to be a tweet out there of Will Zalatoris missing a 1.5 foot, length putt. I mean, it's always what you see at this golf tournament. Just so many terrible looking putts, but you can tell it's not necessarily, it's because of how hard the greens are.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the betting board. Obviously, looking at some data there from our friends at Bet the Number, who continue to improve the product every single week, as they did last week as well. Now on Bet the Number, you will get on Tuesday when the pairings drop and the tee times drop, you will be able to see AM or PM wave as well as what group those players are in, and you can search players on your model. You can search players in terms of the matchup tool, all by their group. And then that continues live as scoring starts on Thursday morning. So I mean, they continue to lead the way when it comes to live betting sports or live betting golf on during tournament action, as well as pre-tournament now with the groupings and the pairings. We all asked for that last week, and they delivered quickly. Code TJ gets you the discount there for monthly or annual subscriptions. Give it a shot. It continues to improve. It's one of the best partner we have, and our friends at Bet the Number are rocking and rolling. So check it out. Top of the betting board, as I already mentioned, is Xander Schauffele with Ludwig, Cam Young, Cantlay, Siwoo, JJ Spawn, Goddard, Hideki, defending champ Harris English, around that 30-1 mark. So where do we want to start, boys? Because I know the name that's most grabbing my attention here. Same. And maybe it's a new year for me, because normally it's not a name that would grab my attention at the top of the betting board. But I think it's actually Cam Young at 18-1 for me. Ludwig with the withdrawal late last week. I don't know what was going on. I think, Pat, you said it was like a stomach issue or something.
It was some sort of illness. Yeah.
That doesn't really deter me that much. But I know he won here for the Riviera last year that was held at this golf course. But give me Cam Young, just given he's the number one on the Bet the Number model. I did my own model on Bet the Number and made it public, so you can look at DB's model if you want to check it out. He's number one in that one too. I just feel like he's turned a corner. It's a great spot for him. 18-1 is where I'm going to start looking, and it's right there at Cam Young. Matt, you seem to be as convicted as myself with Cam Young.
I got 3 plays this week. He's one of them.
All right.
Yeah.
Pat?
So we're just thinking Cam Young after last year.
Well,
it's just there's no nervousness whatsoever.
No nervousness?
Yeah. This is a golf course for bullies. I mean, his game. Yeah. He delivers a heavy blow to that golf ball, man. The good weather actually might hurt him here if you think about it.
Yeah. I thought about that for the next guy that I like.
22 either. Is that? I mean, I don't know if there's any.
You think that's because he doesn't love it?
I don't know. I mean, he finished top 20 here the last time he played, so it wasn't like that was that bad, and missed the cut before that. But I don't mind Cam Young. I mean, really the first I go to is actually Hideki at 29-1. I like Hideki a lot. I think you look at the way he's been playing. He's played a lot of golf. I mean, finished T13 at the Sony Open. He's got a great record here. So I feel like Hideki is the first one that I just feel the most confident, up top. Other than, well, I mean, even out of all those guys, I mean, definitely over Cantlay. Probably not Cam Young. I do like Cam Young too, but I feel good about him.
I just checked. He did miss the cut, finished +6 at this course last year for the Genesis.
Okay, so he did play.
He's played here 3 tournaments here, 2 at the Farmers, 1 at the Genesis, 2 missed cuts, and a T20.
Okay.
I mean, I like Hideki as well. He was one of the next ones I had starred here at. I don't know why is DraftKings throwing? Pat, is this giving you?
It's driving me crazy. I already put this in the Discord today. I don't understand these weird numbers. These weird odds.
The DraftKings, the DraftKings odds numbers right now are very strange. They're not the typical round numbers. They're like 29-1, 31-1, 37-1.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I've refreshed and it's still there. So maybe it'll fix itself. But I know that's
on their website.
I did too.
It was the same thing.
I know that's driving you crazy, Pat, with your OCD. Matt, do you have any OCD tendencies? I don't know if we've talked about that here.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you would know.
Not that I'm aware of.
If you did, that's
it. Pat certainly does. I had Hideki starred, but I also had Goddard starred because, I mean, I would imagine I was kind of wondering if we'd get a heavy ball out of Matt Every today. With Torrey and with what's required. He just kind of said it with Cam Young. But I was thinking about heavy balls, and Chris Goddard did come to mind there as well. And I know it's not windy, and I know, Pat, you dropped a little nugget about Goddard in the Discord last week in Pat's PGA Tour Radio Minute.
Yeah.
But I still just like it. Like, why would we not with Chris Goddard at this point? Still at 29-1, which is – like, why would you bet JJ Spawn at 25 and not take Goddard at 29? Why would you bet Patrick Cantlay? Like, people need to get over Patrick Cantlay. I cannot imagine clicking Cantlay over Goddard, Hideki, probably Harris English at this point, probably Jason Day at this point. I'm trying to think where I would go. I think I would take Jake Knapp over Patrick Cantlay. Am I crazy? What are we doing?
I don't think you're crazy.
No, I don't at all. I mean, I think Cantlay, like we talked about last.
He's just a name.
Yeah, at this point, there's really nowhere to go with him. I mean, until he maybe does something. I mean, he played okay last week. It wasn't like it was a terrible tournament for him.
But that's what he does.
Yeah,
he plays okay. But we're talking about to win. He just doesn't win anymore, or he hasn't won in a long time. I don't know. I feel like he hasn't won in a long time. Probably wrong. But it just feels, and the odds are insane when you consider the guys around him. What do we think about Goddard up there, Effrey?
He wasn't one of my guys, but you could definitely talk me into it. I mean, he's on a heater. The different green surfaces might pump the brakes a little bit there, but just because there's, he's got a 50th and a 25th here, that's not terrible. I don't hate it.
I mean, really, what's the difference between him and Cam Young in terms of, what's the difference? They're both Jersey boys. It's not like neither one of them grew up in California putting on POA.
Yeah.
Well, and Goddard is literally number one in the BTN model right now. So,
is he one? I thought. Cam Young's one in my model. Goddard's 3.
Yeah, in the BTN model, he is 1. So,
by the way, I don't show a win from Patrick Cantlay on Bet the Number since 2022's BMW.
Wow,
pretty sure that's about right.
So unless I'm forgetting something, that's almost accurate. That's 3.5 years.
Man, that's crazy.
Short field. Wasn't that in the playoffs? And it was like
it's a playoff event. It's like a 70-man field. Yeah.
No,
I mean, he won the Zurich before that.
That doesn't count.
Anyway, 2021, he was doing good. Anyway, all right. Who's your next guy? You said you had 3 guys. Who's your next guy? I'm assuming a little bit further down the board.
37-1, Keegan.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Loves this place.
Mm-hmm.
Missed the cut in Sony, right?
He did.
Yep.
Yeah, I had him. He was rusty. Might not be the end of the world for him there. I just
does feel like a great spot for him.
Experience. He's been around there a ton. If he gets off to a good start, I like him this week.
Yeah, I had him checked. I like a lot of. I'm gonna have to do some work to narrow some guys down, especially in this mid range.
Yeah.
Pat, what about this spot for you?
No, I mean, same for me. I've got several in here. Yeah, I didn't like Taylor Pendrith at all last week. I think you even asked me specifically. You said, who is not winning this golf tournament that was up there near the top? And I said Taylor Pendrith, and he missed the cut. But I do like him here, and he's played well here. I mean, I
think I said Ludwig, and I beat you because he withdrew before.
You did. But yeah, I do. I think Taylor Pendrick's got a pretty good chance here. I like him a lot more than I did last week. I like Jake Knapp a lot. He's 7th in the BTN model. Was 11th at the Sony Open a couple weeks ago. Has a T3 here and a T32. So those two right there together, I think, are kind of my favorites in this mid-range area.
Yeah. I had all 3 of those guys, Keegan, Pendrith, and Knapp, favorited on Bet the Number. I mean, we're kind of right there with each other here, it seems. Knapp also played really well at the Genesis last year, which was here at T17. The tee to green numbers were fantastic. He gained almost 6 shots tee to green at the Genesis here, and then last year obviously T32, and so just a solid performance out of this guy. We're starting to see him seemingly just do well on all types of courses, but this seems to be one that would suit him really well. The long irons are solid, pretty good short game too. But I have one more name in this range, and that's Jason Day, who was on my card last week. I had him and Ryan Gerard finishing runner-up to Scottie Scheffler, so I should have bet the without Scottie market. But I feel like Day is kind of quietly just rounding into form and bucking his head last year and starting to kind of come back around. The putter was really hot last week, which I wanted to see. And he's got some really good finishes here. So I kind of like Day at 31-1.
I like that too. I had him yesterday all day, and it looked really good. He's back working with Colin Swatton, his old coach, kind of his mentor growing up. And he's got a nice draw off the tee working. The ball was very much in front of him yesterday. Almost everything was just a baby draw. You can see the flight from behind because, we have shot tracer a lot of times, but also the sky is clear out there, so you can track the ball when it leaves the face. He had what did he shoot, 8 under yesterday? He had a stretch though, 11 through 14, where he missed. He had 11. He was right next to the green and 2. It a terrible chip for him and made par, and it kind of stalled him out. Then he missed like a 6-footer on the next, couple of makeable ones on the next 2. So it could have been really low for him, but he looked solid. And I'm very like I don't want to read too much into golf at PGA West. It's you can fake the shit out of it there and still have a decent week. But his looked real to me.
Did his balls appear heavy?
No, he's not a heavy hitter of the ball.
Okay. Just kind of, are they just kind of feathery or mid or just?
They're normal.
Just okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Working down the board still. Matt, is your next one like triple digit range, or are we still double digits?
Yeah, my next one is a massive flyer.
Okay, let's hold off on that. Pat, let's keep working down. Who do we got?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying I'm betting him, but I wanted to talk real quick about Willie Z because I did, I kind of bashed him a little bit for his putting a minute ago, but he had a good week last week and putted well.
Yeah,
he gained over 2 strokes putting, which when you look at his, historical numbers, because he took so much time off. I mean, he was putting just terrible before he, got injured. But I think he's been working on it a ton, and that showed last week. I'm interested to see what Willie Z does this week because he also has played very well here in the past too. So a T19 from him last week, I think was good to see. Don't necessarily think he wins, and I think I would like a little bit longer odds on him than 52-1. But I did want to kind of talk about him. I don't know if you were able to see much of him, Matt, last week at all. But
I wasn't. I didn't see any of them.
But I know he specifically mentioned how much he has worked on that putter. So he was one.
Is he still working with Josh Gregory on that? Did he say that?
No, I don't know if he said that or not. I like Nikolai Højgaard. He's at 61-1. Finished second here back in 2024. He's 18th in the BTN model. I don't think we've seen him since the fall. He played, the Bay Current and finished T14. Missed a cut at Sanderson Farms. I don't know if he's got any DP. Did he play any DP event?
He does. Yeah, I think he won. I think he won over the fall or late fall.
Yeah.
Nikolai's been playing well. Yeah. I like that play a lot.
So I think that's the next one I would go to at 61-1 before I get into kind of some longer shot numbers.
Let me ask you this, Matt. Help me work through this because one of the hottest guys in the world right now, coming off of 3 straight runner-up finishes, one on the DP World Tour, where he lost in a playoff where a guy chipped in from 50 yards, should have been a win, gets him into the Masters. Then he starts off his PGA Tour season with a runner-up at the Sony and a runner-up at the Amex last week. Ryan Gerard.
Yeah.
When I look at him on Bet the Number for this week, if we're just looking at the model, if we're just looking at the data,
doesn't look great.
No.
It's not great. So help me process. Like Bet the Number, obviously they like the carry. They like carry distance off the tee this week. They like that ball, being able to fly a little further. He doesn't do well there. He's like 103rd in the field. Yeah. Not great putting on POA. The long irons are decent, 42nd in that approach bucket from 175 to 275. But so how do you work with a guy like that? 45-1, obviously confident, feels like he's a different player than he was, when these stats are cooking back to 40 rounds ago or whatever it may be. How would you handicap Ryan Gerard this week, given all that?
Man, I am a massive Gerard. I feel like I was on him earlier. Everyone's on him now. Like all the media people are on him. It's not cool to like Ryan Gerard anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I know. I might have said it on here sometime last year. I think Ryan Gerard, when it's all said and done, will have a better career than Ben Griffin. And I think Ben Griffin's still got really good stuff ahead of him. I just am a believer in Ryan Gerard. I like the way he goes about his stuff. confidence going into this week, it can matter a ton, and it can definitely overcome poor form on this course. I mean, 2 seconds in a row, that guy's got to be feeling bulletproof right now.
Yeah.
He's got good weather coming into here. It's not going to be, you might have some chilly mornings, but nothing he can't overcome. I don't know. But then at the same time, it's like, is he due for like just a mediocre week of golf? I'm not super worried about carry number out there for him. If he's finding fairways, he'll get enough. He'll get enough roll where he's not getting hurt by distance out there. It's not a thing for him. But clearly, whatever's going on in his golf swing right now, it's working. I'm probably laying off though this week.
All right, so I was going to say another guy who seems to be, especially if you look at, I mean, I'm looking back at the Procore. I mean, if you click on his name in the Bet the Number model.
Can I say something one real quick about Gerard?
Yeah.
All right. So last year in San Antonio, I had him on the ground. I think he finished second there. Right? He was up there. Yeah. I had him there, and he hit the shot into the rocks on 12. I was on the ground, so I go to like look at his ball, and it's fucked. I mean, it is so fucked. He doesn't even have a shot. He has his only shot to me is an unplayable back to 13 fairway, which is a par 3, and then hit over the trees and rocks. So he gets in there and he takes like this 5-iron, and we got an audio guy in there with the boom mic, so we can hear the conversation he's having with his caddy Pepsi, right? So he's in there, and you can tell Pepsi's not crazy about it. And he jams this 5-iron, and it runs through. It gets through the rocks somehow, through the cactus, runs through the bunker, up on the green to like 10 feet, and he hands his club. He hands his club to Steve, and he goes, "I'm so fucking good at golf." And I was like, God. "Oh, baby, yes!" Like. You have to have that, and and nobody else heard that. Like there's no way that made it to air.
Yeah.
But I heard it, and I was like, man, I'm in on this kid.
That's why you're giving him the edge over BG, isn't it?
Well, a little bit. They're both kind of raw guys, though. You look at their swings, and it doesn't look like they went to some world-class instructor their whole way on the way up, and had a TrackMan
in their crib.
Around. Yeah.
I don't know. I had a PGA Tour radio moment about Ben Griffin today that it kind of soured me to him a little bit.
Okay, give it. The Pat PGA Tour minute, PGA Tour radio minute.
But I think he did an interview, and they was talking with his caddy on the range about hitting a draw, and he said at least 10 times that he was a top 10 player in the world. I mean, made sure that he's like, I mean, I don't know how a top 10 player in the world doesn't know how to hit a draw or how I'm supposed to do it. I don't know how a top 10 player in the world is telling y'all this right now. I mean, he just said that multiple times.
Wait, who said it?
Ben Griffin did.
He said it about himself in the third person?
Describing himself as the top 10 player in the world.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's a tough scene. I know Matt probably can't speak too much on that, but that is douchey. That is peak douche level there.
I'll see if I can find the clip.
You guys get Fernando Mendoza vibes with Ben Griffin at all?
Oh, I get that.
Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good comp. Yeah, I can't wait to see Ryan Gerard and Si Woo paired together, and both of them just telling the other one that I'm the greatest.
Well, no. Here's the thing, though, is he wasn't saying that. That was real.
I know. I know.
He's not on Twitter telling everyone that or Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I appreciated it in the moment.
Okay, well, here's what I was going to say. Comparing Ryan Gerard at 45-1 to another guy who has definitely started to find it, and I will say, quote, again, lately, who's won here before and is 47-1. If I'm looking at his last 5 events on Bet the Number, Amex and 4 events in the fall, the ball striking numbers and the approach numbers for Max Homa are starting to look like vintage Max Homa. And I know those events in the fall are not necessarily the strongest in the world, but he had a really strong, solid week last week, and he continues to kind of show that he might be coming back. if you had to take one to win, it sounds like Matt, would you rather have Gerard, or would you take Max Homa?
I'd probably take Homa this week just off of experience.
Yeah.
And he is hitting a nice. I actually had him last week as well on Friday, and it was kind of the same thing. There was no. The one thing about the stadium course at PGA West is the demanding tee shots. You can bail out on them, and if you want to protect the round, there's plenty of birdie holes to just get after the rest of the way. There's like 3 or 4 tee shots where you might shift your target 10 yards from the middle of the fairway over and just deal with it out of the rough because it's not worth taking on the risk. Homa didn't do that on those hard shots. He took them on and he pulled them off every one. I'm pretty sure the round I had him, he went bogey free. But he looked good.
Yeah,
I don't hate it.
I'm starting to be intrigued. We'll pass over Brooks at 50 to 1.
How many people do you think bet Brooks this week?
Oh, there will be plenty that bet Brooks this week. I don't think I will, but there will be plenty. I wanted to talk quickly too about a few. We're starting to see more and more of the rookies, the DP World Tour guys. Marco Pinge is making his first start this season on the PGA Tour. Obviously, the guy's a stud. Runner up to Chris Goddard up at the Genesis last year was kind of a breakout for him. Played well at the PGA as well. Guy hits it an absolute ton. Neargard Peterson is down here as well. Nikolai Højgaard is the one Pat's talked about at 61 to 1. Just a few names down there that I think we should give some attention to. I think all 3 of those guys are in play here with how long they hit it, with the mid and long iron ability. And we've seen guys like, I think about Pavon, come out here and just get it done in their first time around. I mean, do you think is Torrey's like not that hard to figure out, right? It's just can you be comfortable on the POA, and that's kind of it?
Yeah,
especially with no weather.
It's going to expose a weakness in your game if you have it. I mean, But I think experience matters probably at every golf course. Some way more than others, but it never hurts you. And then with experience comes comfort. So it's a little bit of give and take. I think it matters a little bit here.
Have you got to hear anything or see anything about this Marco Pinge fella?
I had him on the ground last year at the PGA, and it was soaking wet. Remember there was big delays there at Quail Hollow, and he was paired with Rory, and he was airmailing him there that day. Yeah, I mean, I've seen his action on TV in the mornings on European Tour, but I don't know him.
Are you doing anything this week, coverage wise?
No, off this week.
All right,
it's like 15 days in a row for your boy.
Oh, look at you! What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
I don't know. The weather's supposed to be terrible down here this week.
Yeah, it's cold here.
I mean, all things considered.
We managed to avoid the ice storm this week.
Dude, did you saw this morning I was filming with Alex, and she lives in Nashville, and she was showing me pics of the trees there. Yeah. Holy crap, man.
Yeah. I can't believe she was able to do anything from Nashville.
She wasn't coming from there. But
I mean, like even internet, power, anything.
No, she comes here for the shows. We film in the mornings here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pat, you got any DP World Tour guys you're anxious to play this week? I know you're a big you keep your
You're a big DP guy, Pat.
Yeah. We call him DPPP is what we call him.
I don't know if I got anybody on the list here look.
Have you ever heard of Marco Pinge?
I have, of course. I mean, I think if you looked at anybody that was on a list of, potential top new players, new stars on tour this year, he was up at the top. Pinge was.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I mean, Hao Tong Lee, he's been playing well.
Yeah, Hao Tong's been playing well.
He's at 98-1, finished T8 last week. I think he's one you could look at, but I'm interested too in Sahith. Sahith's game's coming around a little bit. I think he had the 8th last week, T31 the week before.
I just can't. I don't.
Fourth here a few years ago. I don't know.
No,
that might be coming back.
I don't have that feeling. I like just to throw out a couple more. I like Akshay. I'm starting to look.
I want to see it somewhere else than PGA than than the desert.
Yeah,
the
I
stadium
agree.
course.
Yeah. I mean, I do think it's dome golf. It is a little different. So if
Hey,
he plays well
do
this
we
week,
think
I think he is. You've got to start thinking about him again.
Fair enough. Yeah.
you think we could see a bounce back right there in that Sahith range? A bounce back for everybody's favorite Scottie Scheffler comp, Rico Hoey this week?
Ooh.
Because I mean, it's not. I know he's a horrible putter, but
Why did
I
he
mean,
withdraw
if
last week? What was the reason?
I think he withdrew because I don't know, but I'm just looking at it. I think he withdrew because he didn't get off to the hottest start, and he knew he had to go screaming low. That's just my guess.
Maybe he played with that amateur that was with Scottie.
Yeah, maybe he did.
He couldn't take it like Scottie could.
Yeah, that's one way he's not like Scottie.
Yeah,
Rico. That's just one. That's one way.
I don't know, man. That would be a big bounce back for a guy.
You love Rico.
I do love him, but what
that
the heck,
throws me
dude?
off of him. Then
you can't hit him. You can't hit it the way he does and shoot those numbers in Palm Springs. I don't care how bad you putt.
Okay, all right. Well, then I'm off.
Something's off there. I'm staying away for a second.
Okay. Johnny Kiefer, anybody? What do we think Johnny Kiefer? Do you think he could win?
Yes.
Or is this like a top 10 upside thing?
Oh, yeah? like this week? I mean,
yeah, this week.
I don't know.
Who was your bomb pick, Matt?
My bomb, he was up there on the model, but it was before that, and you mentioned him earlier, it was Smotherman.
Yeah.
I love Small Daddy.
Yeah,
he's 185 to 1. Yeah, I love it.
He's a nice iron player.
11th.
He's a really good iron player.
Ever playing here.
Nice iron player. I mean, trending.
Yep. And I mean, Pat and I have spent a lot of time with Austin. Like the reason he didn't survive on tour his first time around was strictly putting. It had nothing to do with the ball striking. Like he was really good, and especially exactly what you just said, Matt. Mid irons, long irons. And it it's early, but it seems like the putter is not as putrid. Let me look back at the fall for his. He's got a new baby. I know that. Him and his lovely wife Jessica. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, he's still not putting amazing, but it's not. I mean, look at his first year on tour. It's just like massive dark red numbers with the putter. So I don't know.
Let me ask.
I would love to see it.
I got one more bomb for you, and this guy, I think he might have turned some things around. Again, I don't want to read too much into the desert, but Tom Hoagie's starting to play some better golf.
Yeah, he is
as well. He's got a decent finish here. Last year, 170 to 1. I mean, if not a win, maybe a top 10 or a top 20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big
you
number.
want to talk about good iron players. I mean, there's not many better than him.
Yeah, although it's been
when he's got it going.
Bad. Yeah.
But I think he might have it back, man.
Yeah. Okay.
All right in Hawaii.
What are you gonna say, Pat?
I need to know about because last year we had some arguments about him that DB was the first to that I couldn't take him in an event because he was kind of yours. But what is wrong with Luke Clanton? He is
what is going on
in his last? I mean, he's missed like 3 cuts, and then he withdrew last week. He was over par for the better part of the first round. I mean, is he? I just don't understand because he had so much talent when he first was on the scene here. He's still a young kid, but I mean, he has not been good at all. And he is in the field. He's 210 to 1. I wouldn't even touch him, but I'm just saying that I'm wondering if Matt, you have any insight on him, or if he's just. I mean, it's just.
I don't, but I mean, I can just try and put myself in his head right now. I mean, he had all those good starts when he was in college, playing in the summer out on the tour, where it felt like he was top 10 in every week. And then this might be the first little run of scar tissue he starts to build, the first dip he's ever really had in his career. And you got to learn to handle it on the fly. And that, there's guys that'll do it, and he'll probably do it. But it's not easy, and he needs a result here sooner or later to turn this thing around. Because I've been noticing that too. I mean, he was a very big name coming out. I just think he's gotten punched in the mouth a little bit, and it's never happened. He's probably never been in a fight, and now do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know exactly.
Yeah.
now it's like I mean, I was looking at this guy for a long shot top 20. David Ford kind of looking like the next hot thing coming up behind Clanton and Kiefer and maybe
quietly,
Blades Brown.
too.
Yeah.
Very quietly.
Yeah.
Which
I kind of like.
Yeah, he's playing nice. T13 last week hit it really well. I was looking at that. He's plus 630 for a top 20. David Ford. By the way, Austin Smotherman plus 470 for a top 20. I love that.
Can you parlay those together?
Yeah.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, it's going to be, you're going to lose, but yes, you will lose. You should play both of those separately, Matt, and just be done.
And the parlay?
You can tip the parlay if you want.
All right.
Okay, I have two I have one just gut feeling. I just want to do it. The numbers aren't good. Actually in my model, he's 37th in my model. He's plus 460 to finish top 20. He's 155 to 1, and he's a tour winner, and he hits it an absolute mile. I have to imagine it's a heavy ball, because if this man hits anything less than a heavy ball,
pot geeter.
Yeah. I mean, his first event of the year last week, whatever, like who cares? And really, if you look at the strokes gain numbers, it seemed quite close. I mean, he still shot 600, missed the cut by 5 shots, but 6 shots. But the strokes gain numbers weren't crazy. So for the first event of the year, he doesn't bother me. But I like the chops on the kid, and T15 here last year, playing it for the first time. I'm interested.
Yeah.
Any other?
I don't mind it.
Long shot.
What's he going off at?
He's 155 to 1 to win, and he's plus 460 to top 20.
Okay. So round robin, top 20, pot shooter, Smotherman, and all right, I got it.
I and Ford.
Ford. Yeah, that was the third one. Yeah.
If you want another just massive bomb, and I mean massive by all, I'm not kidding. I was looking at the names, and I was like, man, this guy's never done anything on the PGA Tour. But another South African, Christo Lamprecht.
Oh, it's been a rough scene for that guy.
So rough for him.
The 7-footer.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was way up here at the end of the season last year too, and I feel like he's been humbled a little bit these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, it was bad last week, but again, like from a ball striking standpoint, like tee to green last week, he lost about a shot tee to green. That's it.
It's also weird stats last week, because you're only getting them from two rounds if you make the cut, and 1 round if you miss the cut.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think. Here's the number. Forget the outright. Guess what his top 20 number is?
Plus 600.
Pat, do you know?
I know, but just because I scrolled by it and saw it, so I don't want to.
It's 10.5 to 1.
Wow.
For a top 20. Like that. 10.5?
I'm
about,
because I don't know.
All right.
I like my round robin with 3 teams, not 4.
Okay. All right. I hear you. Pat, anybody else? Some top 20 bombs?
Yeah, I mean, well, I will say my 2 favorite top 20s are Hideki at plus 125 and Gerard at plus 176. I think on the bomb, S.H. Kim plus 435. I mean, he's got 2 top 20s in a row. He's played here 3 times with a T20 back in 2023. I don't know. Does not check out very well in the model, though, at all.
Nice swing.
20th.
There's a young man who fulfilled his military service and then came back, and now he's ready to rock.
Yeah.
I mean, he did. Not everybody does that. Like,
you're right.
He's doing okay.
Wait, is that where Sungjae is right now? Where's Sungjae?
No, he's
Sungjae hurt his wrist.
Oh, that's right.
He hurt his wrist.
About that. Yeah.
I think he's coming back soon, though. Let me look what Will texted me. He told me when he was.
Any other bombs for you, Matt? Top 20 bombs? No, you're just.
That's all I got. A little disappointed with Toasty's effort so far this year. It's been a struggle for him as well.
I gave Toasty a little look today for this. Maybe you warm up to Toasty. Hey, are you going to put in some thoughts into the Tour Junkies Discord again this season?
Yeah.
Okay.
I talked to them the other day. I was in break during the first event, and I saw some notifications come through, so I just chimed in because they were all giving me stuff because I had Harmon's group and he was taking forever. I guess he's a popular figure in the Discord.
Yeah.
And then I got accused of glazing Siwoo Kim too much, which is really hard not to do. It's really hard not to do.
Whoa, people in our Discord accuse you of that?
It's fine.
Okay, I need names.
I definitely do.
I need names. No.
You should know, DVs. All the usual characters that are in there during the day.
There is no glazing Siwoo too much in the Tour Junkies.
I'm pretty sure somebody said that also. They defended the.
I'm with you though, DB. Like the mustache he's got. I mean, I only bring one change of underwear to work. You know, like come on, Siwoo. When he got off to that, so we had him on Thursday at Sony. He was 4 over through 8 holes, and I saw the stash, and I'm like, that thing's gone tomorrow. And then he just blitzes it the rest of the week, and then a good week last week.
I didn't realize he was 4 over through 8 on Thursday.
Yeah, he was off to a terrible start. Like
that is, like normally that's Siwoo ejection territory.
Yeah, he probably did quit at some point, but just something good happened and it turned it around. Like he's just gifted. And
that reminds me, Torrey is the place where Brian Vranish told us Siwoo helicoptered his 8-iron into the ocean that day.
Did he?
And then the next, and Brian said he helicoptered it in at a tournament round, didn't say anything, never asked Brian about it, never talked to an equipment guy about it before the next day. The very next round that they played the South Course, he hits it basically at the same spot. Vranish gives him the number, and Siwoo says, "Hand me the 8-iron," and Vranish goes, "You don't have an 8-iron. It's in the ocean." And he goes, punchy 7. Just doesn't skip a beat. God dang, I love that guy so much. Yeah, that was great. All right. Well, let's have a good week, boys. Let's hit a winner. I felt a little closer after yesterday. Obviously, Scottie's not here, so now we all have a chance. And Matt, enjoy your time off. We'll see you next week, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
What's next week? Hold on.
Next week's waste management.
Next week.
Oh yeah. Oh, Pat, who won the waste management?
Okay, I know who won actually because I bet on it, and I had him on the card. Thomas Dietrich won. So,
that's right, you did.
Yeah,
I remember that.
He won't be winning this year.
Who's now at Live?
Yeah.
Yep.
Took the bag. Do we know how much
you
money
guys
Thomas
think?
Dietrich got?
You guys think anyone else comes before February 2nd?
I think it's starting to look like no.
Same.
I mean, there's only a few that can based on.
Wouldn't shock me though if one of them comes. Not Cam, one of the other two.
Yeah,
just figures it out.
It wouldn't shock me, but
P. Reed's been interesting lately.
P. Reed has been interesting. Playing again this week on the DP World Tour. Won last week.
Yeah, he just won. That's right. Wasn't there some controversy again with him? Not with him, but didn't somebody have there was another ruling? Like they got a 2-stroke. They got a 2-stroke penalty for their club like brushed a grain of sand in the bunker.
Huh.
Thought I heard that. That was another PGA Tour radio thing I thought I heard today.
Yeah, apparently he is yet to formalize a new contract with Liv. Yeah, so he's a free agent right now. He says we're still finalizing contract. We're not complete on that yet. There's no way they're letting him back on. There's no way.
Well, hold on. He would play the European Tour and then finish in the top 10 there, and then get one of those cards to be back on the tour, which he has access to play the European Tour, right? He also could be totally doing all this, and the good golf is at a great time for him right now for leverage. But this also could be him just trying to get his deal bigger.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
God, the tour needs him though. We need the villain. Maybe
We
Ben
do.
Griffin becomes the Patrick Reed villain that we all
Way
need.
too
What if he
nice.
does?
That's not happening. No.
Well, we thought the same thing about Hulk Hogan, Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
We thought he was the real American hero. Every little boy.
Anything to Wyndham Clark saying he didn't, Brooks, he didn't like that Brooks could have his cake and eat it too. What do you think that interaction's like when they see each other on property this week?
I don't know. I hope Wyndham gets a punch to the face.
Pat lost the bet the number matchup again this week thanks to Pearson Cootie not beating Wyndham Clark.
No way.
He's quite bitter.
Yeah.
He's quite bitter
It was
about
looking
that.
well.
Great.
It was great because Cootie was the first round leader, and then it totally flipped. And then going in the last day, Clark had like a 4 or 5 shot lead, and then they tied. And then right at the end, Wyndham ends up winning by 1 shot.
I got to say this, and I'm not trying to be ugly. I like Smiley Kaufman a lot. Like I like that guy a lot. I think he does a good job, and I like him personally. We met him at on the Corn Ferry Tour years ago when we first started.
Yeah,
really nice guy. But yesterday afternoon, he said a couple things that I wanted to throw something at the TV. Like, come on, man! Like, don't just say stuff. One of the things that he said, he was talking about Wyndham Clark, and he goes, I mean, I've seen this guy. He's like, listen, when Wyndham, I'm not even kidding you. He said this: when Wyndham is playing his best, he's as good as Scottie Scheffler.
Yeah,
I kid you not. He said that.
No,
you can't say that.
No,
you can't say that.
He said he's got the same. He basically said he said something to the effect like he's got the same gear as Scottie. Like he's there with Scottie Scheffler.
I mean, he is a really good ball striker, but still, there's not even a close. Like,
come on.
The gap between Tiger and whoever was number 2 in the world when he was in his prime. To me, this is the second largest gap we have right now between our number 1 and number 2. Like there is a big gap between Scottie and Rory would be the next best guy. Like there's a big gap between those two.
Yeah.
Day in and day out. Yeah, I don't know where Wyndham falls in that.
Not close. I'm good. I'm out on Wyndham. I don't like the guy. I'm out. I think that was a douchey thing to say. Like, who cares, man? Just do your job, play golf. Don't worry about Brooks Koepka. He's freaking Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, and you should know. You would think he would know that nothing good is going to come out of him talking about that.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff, boys. Have a great week. Let's get it done for the farmers. We'll see you next week for the Waste Management, the People's Open. May your screens be green and bend over your bookies. See ya. Oh. Tour Junkies featuring David Barnett is not an affiliate of CWM LLC. Opinions expressed by the host or guests do not reflect those of CWM LLC. CWM LLC does not endorse gambling or the entities promoted by the Tour Junkies podcast. David is a non-registered representative of CWM LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.